everybody, this is Levont here, and we are in Your Future Self. Oh, wow. Oh, and that is loud. But yeah, Your Future Self. Now, this is a game on itch.io, but beyond that, I don't know much about it, apart from the fact that you talk to your 35 plus year older than your current age self, and they apparently committed a crime. And beyond that, I guess you have to figure out how to see the wrongness of it. Hey, you, me? Okay, are you there? Good, listen carefully. You are directly responsible for the deaths of... God damn! Well, I'm already a mass murderer. God damn. You are probably confused by the statement, because from your perspective, these events haven't happened yet. How could you possibly be held responsible for something you haven't done? Well, in 35 years, your future self will commit these actions. And your future self is you. You are both part of the single continuous chronological entity. As such, the responsibility for your future crimes also lies with... How does that make sense? You can't be charged with a crime you yourself hasn't even done yet. But then again, the U.S. justice system is currently screwed over, so I guess that would be possible. You are probably wondering where you are. I have placed you in a temporary bubble outside of time. You will be sharing this bubble with your future self, brought here from 35 years in the future. So I exist outside of time and maybe space, but that'd be an interesting sensation. You are to convince your future self of the wrongness of their action. If you can do this, you will alter your own time stream, changing your own destiny and stopping your actions before they can occur. Only then will you be exonerated for your crimes. Huh. And finally, there's the limitations of the technology used to create the bubble. Time will flow normally for you inside the bubble, but it will appear to loop every 90 minutes. You will be stuck in this loop indefinitely until you can convince your future self of the wrongness of the action. So I guess every quote-unquote 90 minutes, we reset? Before responding to anything your future self says, you think carefully. What tone should you use? Should you be rational, empathetic, or assertive? How skilled are you at speaking convincingly in whatever tone you choose to use? How skilled are they? How receptive are they to your tone? All of these things will come together to determine whether or not you are successful at convincing them of what you have to say. If you want to be free, make sure you are as convincing as you can be. Think carefully. Think strategically, and good luck. So essentially, don't go all by the seat of your ass. Hello? Wow, they were actually telling the truth. This is really happening. Oh wow, he is a lot. How do I do? He is not very empathetic. He is assertive. Well, look at you, just as I remembered, so fresh-faced and naive. Jeez. You have no idea what I've seen. You have absolutely no idea what's ahead of you. Well, you have to say like an asshole, why don't you? Looking forward to hear what you have to say. But believe me, I stand behind what I did completely. I don't know what you're planning to say to change my mind, but it won't work. Jeez, be an asshole, why don't you? Well, let's start with rationale. Oh, this is strange. My rational response is to assume I'm either a simulation or hallucination, but asking a potential simulation or hallucination about reality seems pointless or dumb. Oh, what? So I'm guessing yellow. Why bother to say that? If you don't care what I have to say. Anyways, does this feel like a hallucination to you? Huh. Okay. Look, I appreciate this is weird, especially for you, but it's the best for the both of us if you could try your best to wrap your head around this as quickly as possible. I'm not interested in having a protracted discussion about it. God damn, my future self is an asshole. Well, I guess I better go with the one I had. You might not be interested, but if you were in my position, he was in your position. What do you know that I don't? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me explain. Time travel was discovered in my time, but after great fanfare and worldwide uproar, it was quickly outlawed by the UN Science Commission. It was the only choice they had in order to prevent an all-out war. Okay? So there was a war in the future. They attempted to stop war. And it wasn't difficult to implement. It was only a few of the wealthiest nations on the planet had access to time travel tech in the first place. Okay. Makes sense. Because of this, I always suspected that the ban was a convenient way for the wealthiest nations to keep time travel hidden and clandestine to use it to their advantage. Okay, so... Okay. I've been expecting something like this to happen at some point. That's why I'm not as surprised as you. Okay. Alright, oh, that makes sense. Technology had advanced in my time, but it sounds like politicians are exactly the same. Don't try to pretend when I was your age, I knew very little about the world. You got a lot of growing up to you before you could claim to truly understand. God damn! Anyways, I can't believe that a bunch of power-hungry politicians would willingly give up time travel. I mean, think about it. This was probably the most monumental human technological achievement ever. What are they gonna do by locking it up and throwing away the keys? Of course they weren't. That's such an enormous waste of something so incredible. It makes sense that would lie about a ban to the public so they could use it quietly in the safe confines of their own laboratories. Okay. It even makes sense to me that they would use it on their own citizens to maintain order. People in power regularly stoop to new lows. God damn, that is so true. Another weapon in their arsenal of oppression. Alright. I guess let's try rationality. Well, okay, I'm sadder than I ever felt, so he is definitely... I think I'm living your future self and self-proof enough that it missed the official narrative about the time travel ban. Look, I accept this whole situation must be incredibly bizarre for you. Immediately after finding out that time travel exists, you've been forced to have an argument with an older version of yourself. You've not really had any time to properly process what's happening to you. If this had happened to me at your age, I'd probably have a nervous breakdown. But I'm you. I'm you right now. God damn. Right, let's try assertive again. Wait, what the hell? You're telling me that you haven't been through this already? That's a paradox, surely. You realize paradoxes can't actually exist, right? Temporal logic is very clear on this. No, the reality is far more depressing. If you're successful in convincing me of my crimes, then you will have changed your own time stream and prevented this version of me from existing. You will live on to be a version of me that behaves differently and does not commit the same crimes. I will never have existed, and I never existed. That's the point of all of this, isn't it? Oh, that's actually a very good point. That is essentially, convincing them of the crime is effectively this, and moving down a different branch of the tree is effectively, murder, because you are essentially eliminating a timeline that would have existed. Oh, this. Jeez. So, I guess I should probably aim for the low ones? Thus, the time bubble we're in right now will collapse and you'll cease to exist, thus preventing time paradox. This is effectively a death sentence for you, isn't it? Well, that's a rather cruel way to... I guess you could see it that way if you wanted to. How am I supposed to... Not real death, I just love it. Instantaneous, painless end to existence. I'm actually kind of lucky in a twisted way. How am I supposed... And anyway, stopping me from existing isn't really the point. They could just kill me right now if they wanted. The point of this is that they want you to understand why my actions were wrong in order to prevent you from doing the same thing in the future. What did that disembodied voice say at the start? We're a single continuous chronological entity. If you could successfully convince me that you have successfully convinced yourself, we are one and the same. Well, I guess, I chose rational because I thought it was, it would have been effective, but it didn't work well, so I'm guessing how high it is would essentially dictate how effective you're going to be. Sounds still a bit strange to me, but I understand what you're saying. They think you're a dangerous criminal and have a way to prevent your crimes from ever happening. It's arguably better than locking someone in a prison for life or sentencing someone to death. It makes sense when you put it that way, but it's not exactly easy for me to take. After all, I am the person being accused of being a dangerous criminal, remember? Okay, so that... You know, you're not actually asking me about the details of my alleged crime. We've been talking about everything else but the very reason you're here. Well, fine, explain it to me. Unbelievable, you didn't... God damn! Straight to the point. Anyways, doesn't matter, I guess I might as well explain. A few years ago, for me, that is, I was the overseer of a climate refugee camp. So he was essentially the head. But you went for people displaced by climate change. From what I remember, things weren't too bad in your time. In my time, however, millions of people from poorer countries have been forced to flee due to colossal flooding and destroyed ecosystems, and they have nowhere else to go but these camps. As you can imagine, there's been constant bickering by the world's wealthiest countries over who would take in the refugees in the long term. All the while, the camps have been getting bigger and bigger, and no one's sure how the UN is going to keep paying for them. My camp had about 40,000 people in it by the end. It wasn't so much a camp as a small city. Conditions has become absolutely terrible. There were times that I felt that they would have been better off dying in their home countries rather than fleeing to this place. There were rampant crimes, poverty, corruption, and death. The hell? Hello? Can you hear us? Who's this? You can hear us? Okay, look, we don't have much time. We temporarily interrupted the loop in a way that they'll hopefully can't detect. Okay. If we get cut off prematurely, we'll try and interrupt the loop again, but it might have to wait until the next loop for reasons that are too complicated. Who is this? Everything you were told at that start of the loop is a lie. Not quite a lie, but farther from the whole truth. Okay. They never told you who they represented, did they? You were just told that you needed to. Oh, I think I might know. What the hell? Have you gone? Hello? Well, I got resetted. Oh, I see. I think I see how this is playing. Oh. Oh. I'm almost... So, I see. I think I see. Oh. What is this? What the hell's going on? Wait, I remember this. We've had this conversation before. I pressured them, even though they don't want to talk about why. I was just wasting time. No, this time will be different. Oh, calm down. Getting all agitated won't help anything. Look, I appreciate... Huh. Okay. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought you'd be freaking out. In fact, why aren't you freaking out? If this had happened to me at your age, I would have been a nervous breakdown. Okay. This doesn't make sense. What are you hiding from me? What the? This doesn't feel right. Something is wrong. The memory is fading away. What the hell? No, actually, it isn't fading. It's being pulled away from me. Who would do this? Who could do this? I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm making this worse. My future self seems confused. I won't convince them by confusing them. I need to get back on track. Okay. Oh wow, what the hell? Okay, what the hell? I have no idea what I'm going into now. I got assertive 3 times, so... I guess let's try to shoot there. Thanks for being understanding. There's something odd about this, though, isn't there? Sorry to be so blunt, but if I'm a younger version of you, then you should have been through this already. Otherwise, this is a paradox. Indeed, it seems like a paradox, but I don't think it is. I assume if you're successful in convincing me of my wrongdoings, then you will have changed your own time machine and prevented this version of me from existing. You will live on to... Okay. That's the point of all this, right? Ah. Right. Not 100% sure where to go with this at this point. But it did... I guess rational. I see, so once I... As this time bubble or you see thus preventing it. This is effectively a death sentence for you, isn't it? Well, probably shouldn't have said anything like that. But anyway, stopping, they could kill me. The point of this is that they want you. Well, what? That disembodied state. Okay, so. If you're the. Did you? There's. Okay. Okay, that's. What the hell? Another memory. I remember this. I remember them talking about being overseers of a climate camp and squad-related conditions, but then something interrupts. Something I don't understand. They want me to understand, though. They want to tell me something. Wait, what? Who are they? I need to tell my future self about this. I need them to understand. I remember you were the overseer of a climate refugee camp. The conditions were terrible. You have already told me this. I know this sounds strange, but halfway through you telling me your story, someone interrupts the loop. They tried to convince me of something, but got cut off before they could say anything. Does any of this make any sense? Well? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I think this time manipulation device might be doing something strange to your mind. What? Wait. He wouldn't. Don't worry too much. This sort of tech is way beyond my understanding. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some weird side effects. So wait, you already know I was the overseer? Did I tell you about the rampant crimes, corruption, and... Wait, Oh, here we are. Hello? Can you hear us? I don't have enough full insight to change the outcome. I feel like I'm supposed to tell you this. Oh no. I disappeared. Who's doing this? We know who's doing this to you. Just listen. Everything you were told at the start loop is a lie, but far from the whole truth. Okay? They never told you who they were. Well, they are the ones who's messing with your memories. You are one of the strongest candidates yet. You seem to be able to get around some of the loop, and that scares them. Oh, I just represented a huge threat. You probably thought they were representing some national government or the UN. So they represent the third party. This feels wrong. Everything feels wrong. Yep. Okay. Jeez, that is always creepy. Okay. Well, look at you. Okay. You have no idea. Oh. Okay. Well, better go with the sir, since that's practically... Okay, so... Okay. So I got full insight. Time travel. Convenience. Alright. What is this? Huh? What the? No, wait. They're not being paranoid, are they? Something is seriously wrong with what I was told. Someone is using me. Someone is. You're on the right track. Keep questioning. Keep doubting. Do I trust that? I feel like I should remember them, but I can't. They sound so familiar, yet so distant. Who is lying to me? Who do I trust? Insight banked. Hello? You're not being paranoid, we're being used. Whatever, we're being told. I don't know what it is, but we need to keep questioning. Keep doubting. Are you okay? You don't sound right. What happened to you? You sound extremely paranoid. It seems to make some sense at the time. Now it's just a blur. Look. Fine. It's fine. I don't remember, so I don't feel great myself. This must be worse for you. You've not really had time to properly... Okay? Oh, better go, sir. That is definitely... Well, I'm telling you, it's not... You will... They're manipulating me. Okay, so I see what's happening. I see the full truth now. Or perhaps it's the death sentence for me. Who's to say I get out of this alive? Question, doubt. Question, doubt. Hey! Well, yes, it's not a... I'm actually lucky in a twisted way. I mean, they could just kill me now if they wanted to. The point of this is that they want you to understand why my actions were wrong and to prevent you. Huh. Why my actions were wrong and to prevent you from doing the same thing. What are that disembodied... Okay. But... if doing this is definitely not the time to get empathetic. Well, if... Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm actually the dangerous criminal they seem to be. You know, you're not actually everything but the reason here. That's because I got bigger issues. Is it? Huh. Well, guess that doesn't work, so. Alright, alright. Alright, well. I got banked, insight. And also plenty to spare, so let's change the outcome. Let's stop talking. They know that you're here. They'll just reset the loop. Okay, disconnected. Are you even listening to me? Hear what I have, right? Do you actually want to hear what I have to say? I'm not quite sure what just happened, but I really do want to hear it. Yeah, that is the thing. I keep getting interrupted every time, I get to the story, so I want to hear it. Not like I could escape from this loop. We're stuck here with each other. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. The sickness. Sickness? There was a colossal sickness rampaging through the camps. I was working, but I never seen anything like this before. Okay, so illness is running rampant in the camps. There's a typhoid at camps in Africa. We had a reliable treatment for it, and they had a reliable treatment that worked. It was just so far out of my realm. What? So this quote-unquote criminal was just a doctor who was trying, effectively a person who was trying to do his job as a doctor, quote-unquote. Okay, so if he was, I gotta be rash. I know, like, being overseer doesn't make you into something for the omnipotent god. The jerks from above apparently didn't trust me enough to confine me in what they were actually. Oh. Wait, what? Explain. I was about to report all the sickness in senior management. I was starting to notice official behaving strangely. Off the books meetings, etc. When I asked one of my inside contacts what's going on, he accused me of being irrational and paranoid. For a while I believed it, but eventually it all seemed too strange to just let go. They're making a bioweapon. Started sneaking around our offices, senior management. I didn't find anything in their offices, but I found a single room in management sector. Get access to when as I was overseer, I should have access to every door in the camp. Okay. I called a different inside contact and convinced her to give me the key code for the room. She warned me that there was no going back after this, but I didn't care. I just wanted to know what they were hiding. And then you... Have you been listening at all? You were told right this time. at this point. That clearly hasn't happened at this point in the story. Still, given my current predicament, my inside source has almost certainly been caught. Poor Alice. I really wish I hadn't involved her in this. She's probably met with a grim fate. Still, the far greater good is far more important. I'm sure she'd understand if she knew the whole picture. She wasn't naive. She knew the risk of helping me. Right. Okay. At least I could understand. Oh, believe me. It was important. Let me explain. The room seemed completely innocuous at first glance, but when I noticed some paper documents on the table at the far corner next to a single unnetworked computer. I hadn't seen papers for a long time, coupled with the unnetworked machine. The whole thing seems very suspicious. Naturally, I went over to have a look. What did I find? Well, I found detailed reports about a bioweapon. Yep, that's what I expected. Clandestine arm of the right. You went right under my nose in this very camp. Your attempt to engineer a pathogen that would reliably kill about a quarter of the people. Wow. They wanted it to seem natural and wanted it to be spread by common water contaminant. So yeah, every single person in the camp was a guinea pig. Damn. Rational is not. It was not comfort. Seeing all those sick and dying people was hard enough, but finding out my own organization has engineered it was so much. I had to confront them about what I found, so I took the documents to my other UN source and demanded he tell me what the hell is going on. I demanded he explain it all to me. He was initially apprehensive, but eventually gave in and told me everything. So basically, the argument went down like this. But this company were never going to stop arguing about what to do with the Myrtle Beach. Anywhere near that, and the situation was only getting as the climate worsened. So essentially, if they died, if the citizens died, that ends all the argument, or the refugees. Some people in wealthier nations started to blame poorer countries not doing enough to protect themselves from the effects of climate change over the past 50 years. Countries spent their money on everything but climate defense. Basically, because of that, they apparently deserve to suffer the consequences of climate change. That is the biggest assholest way a person could be. No one deserves it unless you... No one deserves to suffer from climate change. Empathy was generally an extremely short supply. Apparently. The immediate problem was that the UN was running out of money due to footing the bill for these camps. No countries were willing to increase their contributions. So they gotta go with this one. They needed to do something drastic. They were affect change really quickly. You sound like you sympathize with these mass murderers. I sympathize with their situation, not with the mass murder part. I absolutely don't sympathize with that. Just listen to what I'm about to tell you. Am I gonna get cut off soon? Here's their justification of bioweapon. They believe that sudden... Yep. Of course, then it feels... Yep, that would be it. Why 25%? Why common water contaminant? Destroying entire countries. But not it's bad, but not catastrophic. And common water contaminants, well, they are present at much higher levels in poor countries and almost non-existent in rich countries. 25% of the people in the richest countries died. They would never take in the refugee. The climate refugees were disproportionately from the poor countries. However, they and their nations would be the one affected by this bioweapon. Okay, so that is... From the perspective of the senior UN officer, they have made a harrowing choice in order to save more lives in the long run. They were willingly murdering millions of people. Not saying I'll agree with it ethically, but it's cold logic in it. Why didn't they tell you about it? As overseer, surely you should have known. I refuse to accept. In ethical decisions, we should never separate the logic from the emotional. Cold logic is for robots, not human beings, and we're the ones making ethical decisions. As for your second point, I actually asked him why I've been kept in the dark about all this. He said that I had to remain neutral and continue as overseer without understanding what has happened, as to maintain order in the camp and not panic the refugees. I won't lie, I was very upset about this. I felt like I was being discarded by the very organization I was trying to serve. I felt isolated and alone, and so many thoughts were rattling round and round in my head. Was I kept out of the loop because I was a liability? Did they not trust me? Did they actually want to try and kill me as part of their test? Wait, you're more. Oh, it's the left out of the plane. It's got landing session, but the fact they're designing a bioweapon to kill millions of people? Oh, come on. Am I not even allowed to keep a little bit of self-pity? God damn. I've always done my best to help others. I spent my entire life being passionately ethical and very outspoken about things I believed in. It's what made me a great overseer. I generally cared for those people. So, my character is ethical. Okay, that's good to know. That's why I took my concerns about the bioweapon project to my superior officer in the camp. I knew I would be putting my position at risk, but I couldn't, in any good conscience, let this continue. I got halfway through explaining my concerns to him when he suddenly called security on me. He had absolutely no intention of hearing me out. I panicked. If I was captured, this bioweapon would inevitably be released. Everyone involved would clearly willingly go along with it. Unconditionally dedicated to the project. So I made a split-second decision that I had to live with ever since. I ran down the corridor to the environment control. I see. I closed the camp gates, preventing anyone from getting in or out. I knew the only working version of the bioweapon was in this camp, and all the research notes were stored here. If I could destroy the bioweapon in the notes right now, then that was the end of the project. I also knew that the bioweapon was being tested on the refugees, but I had no idea who was infected and who wasn't. Any one of them could have been contagious. Security was banging on the door, and then it was close to breaking down. I had no time to figure out a better plan. I had to act there and then. So you blew... I did the best I could. I really did. There was nothing else I could have done. I I deactivated all the safety features of the environmental control system using my overseer access and overloaded the entire thing. Every single part of the camp was turned into an inferno. Destroyed the bioweapon and the plants, and killed every single person. So he had... Okay. There was nothing else I could have done. It was a choice between sacrificing these 40,000 people or allowing... It's a choice between evils, and this is the lesser evil, despite being a huge number. I bet you're wondering how I'm still alive. Well, Hello? I can hear you. I want to hear what you have to say, but they can detect you. They'll just reset the loop again. Actually, I don't think they will. We've made some improvements to our technology, which hopefully means we could get around their intrusion screening. We were cut off last time partway through explaining who the people in charge of the loop actually are. They lied to you. They have no interest about absolving you of your crimes. They've never been their goal. Government or NGO. Oh, well, apparently it got cut off again. Mandatory. God damn. What? That got me a lot of assertiveness. Okay. Please tell me I don't. Wait, are you kidding me? Okay, okay. Let's try working to my strengths. Damn. Okay. Alright. Okay, so... Okay, gotta be. Someone is using me. Right. Question and doubt. Alright. Alright. I got the insights needed. Alright. I'm gonna... There's a behave. Putting all this. Yep. And we got a breakthrough. We gotta keep questioning and keep doubting. What is your same time in the future? We're the one and the same. Are God damn. Alright, well. This. Wait for them. Okay. Well, this is very interesting, all that. But I think I'm gonna call the episode here, so, yeah. Beyond that, a little bit of thoughts on this. This is definitely a very, very interesting, game. Having to convince your future self, but you're being lied to in reality, so... Damn. I guess on that note, thank you for watching this video. If you like what you saw, throw this video a like, and if you want to see more contents like this, subscribe to my channel. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.